So, sir, can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
My name is Vincent. My last name is Zamora. Z-A-M-O-R-A.
Can you speak just a little bit louder? What happened?
The dude just lost control. He said that there was another car. I think I heard another car, but he hit the curb and just kind of kept going.
He went right through all those people.
Yeah, just kind of mowed him down like he was bowling.
And then he eventually stopped?
No, he swerved. He finally got back, I guess, control of the car, and he tried to slam left. And I don't know if he hit anything on the left side, but then after that, they said he got out.
And you saw the people being hit?
I didn't see anyone being hit. Like, it was so close to me that I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. How close did it come to you?
Like, it was probably like 3 feet away. And by the time I realized what happened, like, I was checking on my friend. He's coughing up blood. Like, I wanted to do CPR, but you're not supposed to do CPR when someone's coughing out blood.
Did you know any of the victims?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Were they friends?
Yeah, he's a good friend.
How long have you been here?
I've been in San Diego about 2
And are you living here on the street?
I'm homeless, but I migrate. Like, I don't stay in one spot. Too many people like to take things from each other, so I migrate.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us? I'm so sorry this happened to you and your friends.
I don't know, really, to be honest. It's just, I really don't know what to say right now.
It's okay. I hope things get better for you and your friends. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. You okay? Yeah, I see that. I'm sorry. I'll get back. You're ready.
Thank you all for coming this morning. I'm Mayor Todd, Gloria. I'm here this morning with our Fire Chief, Colin, and our Police Chief, David Nisleit, to update the public about a mass casualty event here in downtown San Diego that happened earlier this morning on B Street. Chief Stowell to give an update on the emergency response, and Chief Nisleit to give an update on the police response to this incident. And I'll have some concluding comments. Chief Stowell.
Thank you, Mayor. Our crews were originally dispatched for a traffic accident. We later got more information that it was a multi-casualty incident, so we dispatched the appropriate resources for that. Our crews found, obviously, a tragic event under the bridge, initiated triage. Really, the way we handle these kind of emergencies is we triage the patients, we set up a transportation group and treatment on scene. And so we had 3 dead on scene that were triaged here. We transported 2 immediates and another 3 to the hospitals. We had a total of 9 patients here today. Crews did the best they could with the resources there. Again, very tragic emergency and incident that impacts all of us, and was just a tremendous effort by both law enforcement and fire to do their best. I'll turn it over to Chief Nisleit.
Yeah, good morning. Much like fire personnel, we started receiving multiple 911 calls just after 9 o'clock this morning of a crash in the 1500 block up B Street. Officers got there and saw multiple people down, multiple people struck by a vehicle, as Chief Stowell just mentioned. While we were there, officers detained the driver of the vehicle involved in this collision. He self-identified himself, and at this moment he is being detained for driving while impaired. This investigation will obviously continue. As with any casualty type of an accident, vehicle accident, our Accident Investigation Bureau will be out here. For those, we're going to ask you to please stay out of the area. This roadway will be closed for mostly the remainder of the day as our team continues into the investigation. But to those families that have passed, my deepest condolences. And as far as the driver, he is being investigated for driving while impaired, and that will be handled by our units right now.
Was there an attempt to pull that driver over? We heard something about the police were following him, and that's what kind of led up to this?
Yeah, we were not following him. I can confirm that several minutes prior, We did get a radio call about a vehicle that matches the description of the vehicle that's here at the scene. And that will be part of the investigation. I don't want to go too much more into that. We need to interview those citizens that called in to determine if this is the right vehicle. It appears to be though.
Can we identify who the driver is or potentially if he made any comments on the scene to investigators?
Yeah, he's a 71-year-old male. He did self-identify as the driver of the vehicle. And so what we know right now is we know the vehicle was westbound on B Street, 1500 block if you would. For whatever reason, it veered to the right, went completely up onto the sidewalk, struck the multiple pedestrians there, then came back onto the roadway and came back to stop in the very number 1 lane, so the lane closest to us here, just before you exit the tunnel if you would. And then he walked over and from what I understand actually was trying to render aid when he was contacted and self-identified as the driver of the vehicle.
What kind of vehicle?
Excuse me?
Make and model of the vehicle?
Looks like a Volvo station wagon.
When you say pedestrians, can you talk about like these people under the bridge sleeping in tents? Can you just describe maybe some of the victims and that crowd there?
Yeah, they're on the north sidewalk, if you would, underneath the underpass. Some tents, some belongings. I don't know if people were sleeping, if people were sitting there. I have not been given that exact brief. As you can imagine, this was mostly right away medical, and now it's switching over to be more of the criminal investigation.
Is that a red zone underneath the bridge, or are there cars normally parked there for school or what have you?
I don't believe that's a red zone. I'd have to take a closer look.
Sir, we heard the reports that it was Chula Vista PD, and you mentioned that he may have been being called. Was it Chula Vista?
The radio call prior to?
Yes, sir.
No, was not from what I understand, not terribly far away, maybe a mile and a half away.
Okay, but not involving Chula Vista at all?
I have not heard that, no.
Thank you, sir.
Do all the victims appear to be homeless?
At this time, it appears so, yes.
And do we know how many have died, how many are surviving?
I can't hear the question.
How many have died and how many are still surviving?
I know there's been confirmed 3 that have been deceased at the scene from talking to fire. There's 2 that are in critical condition and then multiple others for a total of 9 victims.
Do you happen to have their ages or like an age range of the victims?
I do not. I don't know if Chief Stowell does.
Male or female, do you know that?
I don't.
Was the suspect taken into custody without a struggle, or did he try to run away? Was there a...
No, he was cooperative, did not try to run away. Like I said, self-identified himself as the driver of the vehicle.
Do you know how many people were staying in the area, roughly how many were staying in the area?
I'm sorry, with the road news, I can't hear you.
Do you know how many people were roughly staying in the area when the crash happened?
I do not, no.
Is there any video evidence of the actual collision?
That'll be obviously part of our investigation, is looking the path where this initial call came from all the way to the scene here, and at the scene we'll be looking for any kind of video evidence.
What's the history of this place? Has anything like this happened for this, under the bridge? Because I've talked to a few people there and they say that, cars pass very fast and
Sorry, sir, I cannot hear you.
no, sorry. What's the history of the place under the bridge? Have there any accidents happened there? Because I was talking to some of the people there and they say that cars, pass very fast really running there.
That'll be something that we'll take a look at during this investigation.
Thank you.
Chief, is there anything else you can say about that initial call in terms of at least what was reported?
Just that the person, the citizen at Colin was concerned about this person possible impairment.
On the road?
Yeah.
Sir, was this a large homeless encampment that he ran through?
I would call a large homeless encampment. You had folks that had some of their belongings along the sidewalk, if you would. If you're familiar with 1500B, it's completely covered. And so on the north side of the street is a pretty wide sidewalk, and there were several tents up and people had their belongings there. Obviously with the weather, last night it's cold and wet, and now obviously raining now, so people are trying to get out of the weather.
Thank you, sir.
And just to confirm, he did not flee. The suspect, he did not flee.
He did not flee, and he is currently in custody, being detained for possibly driving while impaired.
So after the incident, he got out of the car and rendered aid. Is that correct?
That's what we're being told. That will be something that we'll have to circle back with some of these witnesses to confirm that.
Anything obvious in his car, bottles of alcohol, any paraphernalia, anything like that that you can talk to?
That's too early right now to disclose any of that.
You can't release his name at this time.
I don't have his name with me. Obviously, this is a very fluid situation, and obviously more medical now switching over. I understand just what I was told is a 71-year-old male.
Because I think